You ever seen the picture where this guy is holding a sandwich board sign and says, "The end is near," or another illustration would be a highway worker holding a sign that says, "Stop." Right behind him is another barricade that says, "Road closed," or "Bridge out." Well, it is in your best interest to pay attention to that information. However, some people seem to think, well, I don't really think the bridge is out. I don't really think I need to stop. Or I don't think I need to pay attention to that sign that says the end is near. And the Apostle Paul, here in Romans chapter 10, is saying a little bit frustrating when people hear and they won't listen, they won't pay attention. Here in chapter 10, verses 16 and 17, we read, "However, they did not all heed the good news. Isaiah says, 'Lord, who has believed our report?' So, faith comes from hearing, hearing by the word of Christ." Isaiah was saying, "Lord, nobody's listening. Everybody is hearing the sound, but the words aren't landing. They're understanding the message, but they're rejecting it. They're not listening. They won't pay attention. They're not heeding it. The information isn't changing their perspective. It's not changing actions." And the prophet was really from. And here Paul is saying, heard it, haven't listened. So faith comes from hearing, hearing from the word of Christ. When the Bible words land on your ear and transported to your brain, mind, and heart begin to comprehend what God is saying, there's a faith sparks. There's a perception, idea of the reality. There is a God. He is our creator. He is our designer. He is one who loves us. And these ideas then begin to grow. Faith comes by hearing, hearing by the word of Christ. So if you want your faith to grow stronger, if you want your actions to line up with the passion of Christ, then listen to his word, read it, and I would suggest that you read it out loud so that not only do you read it with your eyes, but you hear it with your ears, and it just has a different impact. Read, even if you're alone, read it out loud. Your faith continue to grow. Faith comes by hearing, hearing by the word of Christ. One of the other ideas from this text is, my faith is not in me. My faith is in something else. My faith comes from something else. There's a disastrous, deceptive idea floating around today that all you have to do is center yourself and you'll find the answer within yourself. That's as that's a deception. That's as old as the Garden of Eden, where the serpent, the dragon, the enemy of God and God's people, deceived Eve into thinking that if you eat this fruit, you will be like God. You, you, and yourself will be in control. You will be in command. You will be your own God. That was so appealing. Deceived her. Adam was not deceived. He knew what he was doing. He wanted to be his own God. He wanted to find and be truth. He wanted to be the one that says, "I am," instead of acknowledging the God who created him. So today, I want to encourage you with the idea that the truth that you're seeking does not come from within you. The faith that saves does not come from within. It comes from the word of Christ. It comes from heaven itself. not come from within you. So your idea, if you've been captured by this philosophy, all I have to do is center myself and find myself within myself, find who I am within myself, find out how I should relate to the rest of the world from within myself. Doing something that's not there. Because you pursue your identity within yourself, you have nothing to compare it with. There's no boundary, there's no definition. I want to encourage you with these ideas that the word of Christ produces faith. Faith comes by hearing by the word of Christ. You don't have to hear your own thoughts over and over. You don't have to live in an echo chamber. In fact, it impacts not only our business relationships, political relationships, our civil interactions, certainly within the church. It's easy to recognize there is one head of the church. His name is Jesus. The rest of us are laborers, co-laborers, different positions, different functions, different responsibilities and authority, but we all are under the one head, from whom we gain our identity, from whom we gain our direction, our purpose, and from whom we will gain. So excited to be able to work with you and to say along with you, God loves us. Mind you again, all of this, word of Christ in print, word of Christ in flesh, word now lived out in your words and your action, brings people to saving knowledge. Jesus is the Christ. And then their faith sparked. Their faith, they hear and see the word of Christ lived out in your life. Mind you that God loves you.